Since most people who know me are kind of like, I'm a very intense person, and it's not that I'm not empathic, or all the people on the internet who perceive me a different way. I'm not autistic or anything ridiculous like that, but I am a very intense person. I do have a certain mentality that's a result of my upbringing, because naturally I am probably one of the most caring and sensitive and empathic people you will ever meet. Like, I have a soft spot for children, animals, things like that. Like, I see a sick child or a child with cancer on Facebook fighting against cancer. I'm the first guy to get all teary-eyed. I see a hurt animal. I'm the first one to, get really upset about it. So I really have a soft spot for those things, and I'm very, very protective of people that I care about. And that's something that most people who know me know, that they feel completely safe around me. They feel safe. They know that I protect them, protect their children, things like that. They all get that impression, everyone who knows me. And he said he'd be cool, just please let him go. When I let him up, he came up and he caught me with a left, and he got me really, really good. And he got me really, really good. However, I do have that intimidation factor, and I do come across, especially a lot of other guys, as very intimidating. I have a presence when I come in a room, and that's been told to me by quite a few people, that I'm a very intimidating person, and I'm very scary in some ways, and I have to try to keep that reeled in, and that has to do with my upbringing and my training. I trained at the farm at Langley. Anyone who knows what that is knows what that means. You can't provide security capable of providing the security I can provide for myself. Non-negotiable. Because I'm such a sensitive person, my dad really went out of his way for me to not be a big floppy pussy. And he still sees me that way. It's really kind of funny. It's really kind of funny. But my dad is really probably the scariest person I know. And without going into his full life story, my dad was a Green Beret at Vietnam. He later worked for, and I'm not going to say what agency, he later worked for the intelligence community. This is stuff that people can pull up on background checks, and people have done background checks on my dad related because of all the lawsuits and shit I've been through. And then my dad has worked in upper management for Cameron International, and he now owns his own company in the hydrogen and natural gas industry. My father is, again, because of his Special Forces training and later his work in the intelligence community, my dad is a very interesting person, and he really went through a lot of trouble to make me tougher and harder, and for me to basically be a killer. That he went through a lot of efforts to try to do that for me, which again, my father being who he was, it led to some interesting career opportunities later in life. I've stated I worked as a mercenary and as a private military contractor. But because of those life experiences, in a way, I'm really a damaged person in a lot of ways. And yes, I did crack under the PTSD from some of the work I did later, which again, I can't discuss with you guys. I got to see some interesting things in life, but if I talk about it, I'll spend the rest of my life in prison. But it gave me an interesting perspective on life. And yeah, I am a very damaged person as a result of that. I don't hold human life in the same value that a lot of people do. It doesn't have a whole lot of meaning to me. And a lot of people kind of get that impression who meet me, particularly veterans and things, definitely pick up my 1,000-yard stare and stuff. So I have that certain intimidation, and even though I'm really a big softie when it comes down to it. But yeah, I do have this very scary, intimidating streak to me that comes out, and some of it has to do with my perspective, my actual life perspective when it comes to dealing with people who I see as any sort of threat to me or anyone I care about is pretty extreme by most standards. And yeah, people pick up on that, and so certain people, even just private conversations I've had with them, probably think I'm a little crazy, a little bit scary.